grave tone.
I may as well just kick things off then. Thank you both so much for hopping on. I think I introduced myself briefly before, but my name is Megan. My partner Arthur and I have a horror podcast that we've not been working on for too long. So you guys are our first official interview, which is exciting.
Oh, wonderful.
And we're a Canadian podcast. We're based in the Montreal area.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. Happy to be your first.
Thank you. And listen, thank you for taking the time, because I'm sure that, that's at a week post release. You guys are probably in the thick of it at the moment.
Finally coming up for air a little bit, but yeah, I mean, still there's like a couple things where we're finalizing and fixing and trying to gear up for AFM around the corner. Yeah.
How was the premiere? Because everything premiered officially at Screamfest in LA last Wednesday, I believe, which was the 15th.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, it was fantastic.
Oh, it went really well. The film is well received.
Oh, that's great.
It's fantastic. Yeah, we just got a great review in Collider yesterday, so that kind of blew our socks off. So
cool.
That was great.
Yeah, they're a huge publication, so I can imagine. So obviously, congratulations, obviously, on the reviews that are coming in, because I've seen a few folks that you've had a chance to sit down with for interviews as well, and everything seems really positive reception wise. We also watched the film last week, and we really, really enjoyed it. It was so fun. But also, and followed a slasher format to a degree, but also tackled a lot of issues throughout sort of the course of the story and some of the content within it. And so I guess I was kind of curious, sort of to kick things off, as a general overview for you, James, because I know that you wrote, directed, and I believe edited as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I ask, sort of, so then, was there general inspiration for the story when you started creating it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, it's kind of funny because one of the reviews just nailed it on the head. It was kind of doing 127 hours, but what if we did the horror version of that?
Okay.
And it's like, oh, well, what if somebody was stuck in this impossible scenario, and they have to escape, otherwise, their friends or loved ones could be in danger as well. So that's kind of where it stemmed from. I mean, it was 12, 13 years ago when the idea came to me, because at the time, I was a wee lad starting in film as an editor, but I was trying to cut my teeth on doing some more writing and pitching people stories and treatments and scripts and stuff. And somebody told me, you should really think about doing single location things. And I'm like, okay. And I thought, how about a guy in a hole? And everybody said, that sounds like the easiest movie to make. And it turned out to be quite the opposite. And so I pitched the concept to Wai a year ago, and he and his partner Alex had some thoughts. We worked with their writer, and we were all sort of putting our heads together and trying to improve everything. And so the final script that we shot was still kind of evolving as well. And so it's on set, I don't think we were done. The script wasn't really finalized until we were done shooting.
Okay.
And it was really interesting because there was it was just a true definition of a collaboration, because everybody was kind of bringing something new to it. Wai and Alex had their ideas, I had my ideas. The writer, the other actors, everybody kind of chimed in and thought let's maybe add this, or can I do this, or what have you. It was very interesting.
Did there wind up being a lot of ad-libbing while you were on set, just sort of due to that?
A little bit. I mean, definitely from Richard.
Okay.
But I kind of gave some license to the actors, especially in the more playful scenes.
Okay.
And there were just certain things that we were definitely playing with. We'd kind of rehearse it as it was written, and it's well, this might be interesting if we do this or that. And it just sort of we were constantly sort of discovering new ways of doing these scenes and stuff. It was very interesting and very fun, and it just kept us all on our toes, and it was just a blast. And I think the actors really, really rocked it, and it was it was a big challenge, but I think everybody had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, I found it was really impressive to see the chemistry between the characters. You could sort of just this read very clearly, I guess, as an actual group of people who know each other, who are going on this trip and, have the usual level of friendship that they all have, but they also have I guess to a degree, like certain tensions, like underlying tensions, obviously between the siblings, as well as a couple of the other characters. But even when they're kind of giving each other shit or doing something like that, it played very naturally, as though like they were actually just having these conversations.
Yeah, I mean that was like the interesting thing because I don't think we did any chemistry reads.
Okay.
We just did a read through once, right? Why?
Just
And
one.
then yeah, we just did one read through, and then because it came together very quickly, and yeah, and that's just how they kind of were on set as well. Richard and Matt played Charlie.
Yeah.
They were kind of like competitive on and off screen, and constantly like fast friends. Like everybody on the show kind of became fast friends. Jordan, who played Gwen, and then Alex, who played Ashley,
Yeah.
they became quick friends, fast friends and stuff. I think the only one that was kind of the odd duck out was Marshall, who was stuck in the pit.
Right.
But they
yeah.
they all got along so well, and we had a text chain going, and everybody was just kind of telling each other dad jokes and things like that. So I don't know, everybody. I think that was like one of the weird, lucky, miraculous things that we had. It's just we cast the right people,
Yeah.
and somehow like they just ended up having like the greatest chemistry. And yeah, I'm very, very blessed and grateful for that, because it's sometimes you can plan and plan and plan and plan, and then you get two people in a room, and it can suck the air out of the room if they just aren't vibing and gelling. So we're very lucky in that respect.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, I can only imagine as well that it probably helped greatly for everyone to have formed these sorts of friendships, particularly because it seemed to me anyway from while we were watching that you guys were on location basically for the shoot. And I can only imagine, obviously, the combination of weather issues and outdoor shoot in general.
Yeah.
The entire aspect of the pit itself as like a set piece. I can imagine a lot of that probably posed an interesting number of challenges throughout sort of the course of the filming process.
We had to build 3 different pits,
Okay.
but in different usage. One goes under the water, one's
Okay, yeah.
for specifically because we had a water tank as well. And the water was really, really cold.
Okay.
James had to go into the water to keep Marshall company
boy.
because Marshall was shivering.
Oh boy. Wow. That must have been interesting. Did you, because you filmed in BC, if I'm not
Yeah, in
mistaken?
Vancouver.
Okay. Yeah. So, and I know it's a beautiful area, but I'm sure that every once in a while, the any kind of like weird weather that comes up probably can cause delays or just general issues. I mean, I'm sure sometimes maybe you can work it into something, but
Ironically, it was like after our big movie rain day
yeah.
with the climax, the very next day we were shooting a scene where it wasn't supposed to rain. It was just pouring hard.
Okay.
And everybody was making a joke like, oh, we should have shot the climax today. And I'm like, yeah, it would have been really nice, but nobody knew. So it was one of those. It was one of those things. And then it was strange because like you might be able to tell, but I don't know how, by some weird miracle, you can't really tell because it was pouring rain.
Okay.
Like I was soaked to my bones and just shivering. And that was like the one scene that I'm like, I'm over this. Let's get this. I scrapped my plans for the scene. It was going to be a lot more elaborate. And it was the whole sequence where the hunter was chasing the gang and shooting arrows at them.
Okay, yeah.
And it was wonderfully lit and everything, and it looked great. It was going to be a little bit more complicated, but because it was just pouring rain on everybody, and everybody was going to be miserable, I knew the actors were going to be miserable, and they weren't supposed to be soaking. So I'm like, let's just keep the actors running.
Okay.
And keep the cameras going. Just go, get these pieces, and let's get out of here, because I had it. That was a tough night. And so yeah, the weather was always a challenge,
Yeah.
certainly.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, hey man, it kind of bonded everyone together because it felt like camp. It felt like we kind of survived this ordeal. Like, and by the time the movie had wrapped, I think everybody in the cast and crew kind of felt like how the characters felt by the end of the movie. Where we were just kind of like, let's get out of here and never look back because we were just dead tired.
All right, we're never going hiking again. Let's leave.
Well,
I think
James was still fine. James was trying to have a drink with everybody. James was still,
and everyone else was like, I'd like to go. Let's go. We're done.
I think I lost though. I think I lost like 10, 12 pounds on that show. I don't know about you, Wai, but I mean, you served great food, but it was like I wasn't gaining weight on the show despite how much I was eating. I was just losing it all because we were constantly walking and hiking through the woods and stuff. And yeah, by the time I got home, I'm like, am I thinner? Is this the secret? Just not eating as much and stressing out and walking your ass off for like 8 or 10 miles a day or whatever it was.
Maybe that is the secret everyone's looking for.
Yeah, I'm like, oh wow. No, but it was I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Okay. Well, hey, I feel like that's the most important part, and I'm sure a lot of the cast and crew would probably agree with you. So,
yeah, I hope so.
So I guess because of kind of some of these issues that you ran into and things, obviously, you made some changes on the fly, and you were saying that the script itself wasn't even really technically finalized until essentially the end of the shoot. So,
well, go ahead, finish your question. I'm sorry.
I guess my question was just, did you have any maybe either like scenes or aspects that were kind of like non-negotiables for you that stayed consistently from like sort of like the original idea that you had all the way through production?
Yeah. Yeah, there were certain just key scenes like that took place in the pit. Like the sequence with like the centipede was like a core idea I had. Like I heard this wild story about this guy that was like in Vietnam, and he was like trapped in this like underground tunnel, and he tried to climb his way out, and the tunnel sort of collapsed, and he was like half his body is sticking out of the ground, and he was just stuck like that, just sort of sticking out of the ground, unable to get out and crawl out for days, if not weeks or whatever it was. And he was just kind of living off the the wild, whatever bugs or critters that crawled by him, he would like kill and eat. But there was a morning he woke up to like this huge centipede like eating his arm.
Oh God.
And that thought stuck with me. And I remember when I first came up with this idea, God, 12, 13 years ago, whatever it was, I was like, oh, well, we got to have like the centipede like crawling in this guy's leg wound. And we almost cut it. There was like several times where we almost cut it, but I was like, no, we should keep it. And we almost cut it in the script phase, and then we almost cut it in post. And I'm like, no, it's gonna be too good. It's gonna be too good. It's gonna be too good. And certainly, like when we premiered it at Screamfest, I mean, a lot of people were like squirming and cringing and so on. So I'm like, oh, thank goodness.
It's very uncomfortable.
Thank goodness we didn't cut. Oh, good.
No,
it's one of my favorite parts.
I definitely like the scene a lot. We tried our best not to cut it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because a lot of the effect, like that specific scene, obviously is sort of just viscerally uncomfortable because something like a bug crawling on someone and trying to enter an open wound, you can't help but sort of be like, oh God, I can feel it happening to me while it's happening. And it's terrible.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of I will say also just visually, obviously you filmed in a beautiful area. The entire film looks wonderful from start to finish. And, but the effects and the kills look great. They looked really good.
Oh, thank goodness.
We got really good. We got the same effects team that did the Final Destination Bloodline did all the effects and stuff. And then our stunt team are from Skyscrapers, the show, and Godzilla 1.
Oh yeah.
And all these like really big show people that are helping out with our film.
Awesome. Well, Wai, I think I had read you've done work in VFX previously, or in special effects anyway.
Yeah, I started my career in visual effects. My first
Okay.
show was Once Upon a Time, and I worked on Fast and Furious, Wonder Woman, Fantastic Beasts, Blade Runner 2049. So my initial career path was from VFX, and then I worked from VFX to on set. I did like lighting, grip, camera team, and I eventually DP'd a few movies
Okay,
with
yeah.
Lionsgate. Yeah.
He's a jack of all trades.
Well, did you
I mean,
consult on any of the visuals for the film, like any of the effects or anything?
I definitely the visual effects knowledge that I have did help me bring in ideas for in the script stage.
Okay.
I remember in the script stage, I was reading through the thing, and it helped me kind of like understand, okay, how we should tackle this and how we should tackle that. And James is very, very good and fun to work with, like in terms like he has a lot of ideas, he has a lot of visions, and he has a lot of like really interesting aspects that he's bringing onto the table overall. And also he is very knowledgeable in the he's an editor.
Yeah.
He's a great editor. He sees stuff like from an editing perspective that helps with the directing a lot, because then we don't have to wait around for the director to cover everything, because he knows what he needs and what he doesn't need. So that's good.
Well, James, do you find that has made the process overall easier for you? Because I mean, it's like, it's a pretty hefty job to write, direct, and edit a film, obviously. But does it make it sort of easier for you because you already have the vision of kind of how you want the final product to look?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly easier, especially I'm just kind of a control freak. If I were to like, I've worked with other editors in the past before, and it's helpful to have and like on this one, I did have an assembly editor come in, but typically I do my main first, I do the majority of the editing and everything. I just like somebody to take it for a week, put it together, just slap it together. It's going to be bad anyway, so I'm just going to be like, oh, that's garbage, let me fix it, and I know how to fix it. So yeah, it certainly helps. And certainly as a director, being put in these situations where it's like, we have no time, we're not going to get all the shots that I wanted, but we have to get all the shots I need. So what are we getting? It's like, I can at least look at our shot list and look at our day and go, if we get this, that, then the movie's gonna, the scene's gonna cut together fine, and I know what to do. Or I'm making mental notes of like, we didn't get this one shot, but that's okay. I got this other shot instead previously, and I bet if I composite this together and repurpose this or redo that, then I think I can use this for the, I'm constantly like, I was creating shots as well.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
I felt like we picked the footage down to the bone. We used everything.
Okay.
Like nothing wasn't really used. I mean, sure, we've tightened and trimmed the fat on the movie, but it's like, if if I wasn't using a shot in its like entirety, I was using a piece of it for something else, in visual effects, or I needed to create this other shot or what have you. So that just came in handy, because if I had to explain somebody else what to do, oh my God, I think it would have been twice as long. And yeah, I mean, it made it just way easier. And I started sending the producers and the actors like certain clips and certain action sequences, and some of the traps and things like that. And I'm like, hey, it's actually like cutting together really well. So I think that just certainly really helped. And yeah, because it was one of those things where I was a new guy, in the sense I haven't worked with Wai before on as a director, and I hadn't worked with this crew before, so nobody knew me. So I was the only American, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
So there was, like, rightfully so, I'm sure there was probably some doubt and skepticism as to what the hell I was doing. What is this American coming in
I
doing?
had no doubt in him from the beginning.
No, Wai was supportive. The producers were very supportive. It's just, there was just certain things where, where it's like, is this going to cut together? I get that question a lot from some people. Like, is this going to cut together? And I kind of give them a look, and I'll be like, yeah, I think I know how to cut this together, since I'm editing it. But there were times where it was kind of a challenge,
Yeah.
and but I've kind of made a career as an editor, as a fixer. I just sort of stumbled upon that, being a fixer for many people, where I've taken troubled movies that were plagued by production issues, or like pretty much what I'm describing, where not that we had a lot of issues on this one. It's just sometimes it's like, oh well, you didn't have coverage for this, or you didn't get these shots, but don't worry, I can make something out of this, and repurpose stuff. So I don't know, I've just sort of made a career out of it for like 13 some odd years, or 13, 15 years. So it came in handy when working on this. So it was a dream to work on this movie, because it's been a passion project for forever. It's almost been made like 5 times in the past 10 years, and it got close a couple times, but nobody pulled the trigger. It got super close, but nobody ever really pushed it over the edge to actually make it. Wai was the only one that was like, you know what, we could probably make this. I'm like, really? And I didn't believe him at first. It was one of those things where he was like, yeah, we're totally interested. I'm like, well, that's nice. Talk to you in a year when nothing happens. And and he was like, no, I'm dead serious. Like, and he's like, this, I could see this being made for this budget. He's like, do you think you can make it for this? I'm like, yeah, I bet I can. And then he called me up in May of last year and said, hey, can you shoot it in August? I said, August? It's May. That means I have to like stop what I'm doing right now and fly up to Canada and start location scouting like immediately. And he's like, right. And I'm like, oh, okay. Are we greenlit? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, oh, I'm not used to this. I was just absolutely shocked. So
no, because this industry, like as James said, right? Like everybody that knows me knows that I'm a person of my word. That's how I'm raised by my parents. And I'm very fast. I got the magic touch, and I'm very fast. So people are not used to it. So
the fastest producer I've ever worked with, because this industry is full of yeah you don't he's constantly, excuse my part of my French, but he's like, I don't make shit, and I'm like, great. No, he didn't lie. And he was just he was very, very gung-ho about it, and just like, no, we're doing this. If I say we're doing it, we're doing it. I'm like, oh well, okay, then I'll be there. And yeah, it came together really quick. He put together a great crew and team. And yeah, I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better production crew, and better producers for that matter. He really supported me in just about every aspect of the movie. From pre-pro to finishing the movie. So it's been amazing. So I hope we do a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Like I see James' vision. There are times where like we're getting like doubts from different sides, but then I stand by his vision, because I do see the final vision and the final result. I keep telling everybody that this is going to be good. James, this film has potential and everything. Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you have to stand by an idea and not let anyone dissuade you from doing it. That's you see a lot of this kind of stories, right? You just gotta stand by it. If you really believe in it, you gotta stand by it. And this is what it is.
Absolutely. And I mean, look, everything came together wonderfully. I was,
thank you.
Yes, a big fan visually, but I was also a pretty big fan of the story, and particularly of the characters, because I feel like there is something to be said for particularly a film like this that is, set in the wilderness and has people making specific decisions in order to like venture out somewhere potentially dangerous, ignoring the killer of it all and just focusing on the elements, of course. I feel like one of my favorite aspects of things was the fact that basically every character in the film, regardless of their level of knowledge about things, was at the very least attempting to be reasonable, make logical decisions. And you did have specific characters throughout the course of the story who were obviously, like, Charlie's character, who's very knowledgeable with regards to what they're doing there and
Mhm.
how to potentially survive in case of, different aspects of things, and has like a lot of knowledge as like an outdoorsman basically. Was that something that you took into consideration? Because we do often see, obviously, like films in which the characters are like, yes, we're going camping for the weekend, but no one's ever been camping before and we have no idea what's happening, and now someone's trying to kill us, but it's not, and then people are running around like chickens with their heads cut off, and that really wasn't the case in this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a time and place for those kinds of movies, and I'm a fan of some of those, but it's always way better when you're watching a movie with an audience and people aren't getting mad at the
Yeah.
main characters because they're doing stupid things. It's like, no, don't drop the axe, you stupid idiot, run this way. So I prefer movies, especially survival thrillers, where the characters are kind of a step ahead of the audience and in figuring things out, and the audience is going, oh, good, you're doing the thing I would have done, or you're doing you're actually thinking and being smart. So I think we wanted to make it a notch above the typical horror film where the characters are relatable, but they're also a bit more smart.
Well, you
Even
root
though
for
they
it.
do make some mistakes, but hopefully they're not too often or too severe that the audience doesn't forgive them. But I think for the most part they're very likable people, and so when they're dispatched or attacked or killed or whatever, it's a bit more devastating,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. They had much more of
hopefully
a,
that comes through.
yeah, no, it does. There's a much more of a level of emotional impact, and you root for the characters a lot more
Oh,
in those
good.
circumstances, because due to the fact that they're not just, running around like idiots, you really want them to make it out, and you feel, a legitimate connection to them as well. So,
Mhm.
um, I guess
No,
my,
good. I'm glad.
yeah, I guess my uh sort of, I don't want to keep you guys for too long, but I guess my sort of final kinds of things to wrap things up were, obviously there was a lot of physicality to a lot of what was happening, because it is a survival film and there are a lot of sequences of, like fight sequences and things, particularly towards the climax of the film. But you guys, worked with Randy Couture, who plays the hunter in the film, so I can imagine that added maybe an element of ease, hopefully, to that character, because I'm sure he brought a ton of physicality, due to his previous work and everything, to the film as well.
Yeah, I mean, Randy's a dear friend, and he was amazing, and he was a real dream to work with. And
Mm.
he was, you know, he has a lot of fight training, to begin with. Obviously being a UFC champion
Yeah.
and so on. He kind of like he was constantly watching the choreography and watching the stunt coordinators and working, in tandem with them and making sure everything felt safe. And I think he made all the actors who maybe sometimes may not have had, you know, as much training or stunt training as maybe some of the other people or whatever. But I think he made everybody feel comfortable, when he wasn't, showing them how to take a punch or showing them how to throw a punch. He was like massaging, like giving giving like rubbing people's necks and I think he was like, what did they say? I just learned this the other day that he's like a registered like
Oh,
chiropractor or something.
wow.
Like he was setting people like necks and junk. And when he wasn't doing that, it's like he was just chilling. I'm like, where's Randy? And he's just like, oh, he's on the ground, like leaning up against the log, waiting on us. And I'm like, do you need a chair? Like, are you good? It's like it was raining, it was wet, it's miserable out, and he's like, no, I'm fine. He was totally fine. I think he, in another life, like he's been a hunter himself since he was a kid, so he knows how to notch a bow, he knows how to throw an axe, he knows how to do all these things. So that just kind of came to him like as like just second nature.
Right.
There's
And
also like building on top of what James was saying. There was some scenes in there where we have a stunt double for Randy, but uh, Randy Randy is just doing it himself. Like he wanted to do some of the stuff himself. It was like, "Are you sure about this?" He was like, "Yep, yep, no problem." And then he just goes and does it. It's
you really have to
so
fight
much
hard
respect for him.
you really have to fight hard for against Randy if he's like, it's like, oh no, we're gonna have this guy do it. It's like, no, if I'm here, I'm gonna do it. It's like, oh, okay, cool. But so he did as much as he humanly possibly could. So no, he was an absolute dream. And there was, I gotta say, there was like playful trash talk because like Richard was very excited to fight Randy. I think Richard had said something like, I don't think you're ready for me. And, I don't think you know what's coming, kind of thing. So he was very excited to work with them, and especially Randy working with some of the other traps and bear traps and all the other weapons and things like that. No, he was fantastic. And yeah, he just it fit. The role oddly fit him like a glove. I'm surprised he hasn't done it before.
It did seem very natural. Like he had an incredible amount of sort of intensity as the character throughout, even just like in scenes where he doesn't have that many speaking lines because his character sticks mostly to, stalking people through the woods. But he brought like a lot of intensity to that character, even with like the few lines that he did have, and for all the entire physical aspect of his performance as well.
And that's like so funny too, because there are times where it's like he has these incredible eyes when he's like staring at you, and like he just has this like evil, scary face, but he's like the sweetest guy. So he'll like snap out a character like after we call cut. But like in action, if he's coming after you, like I don't pity the like I don't excuse me, I don't envy the actors that are having to like run away from him or fight him, because he looks terrifying coming after you. And so I'm like, oh God. It's like, oh, easy. But no, I mean, just even if he's just like kind of stoic and just staring at you, there were certain scenes where I'm like, can we like brighten up his eyes, because he has this amazing evil glare and everything. So yeah, he just brought a lot to it, even though he wasn't always speaking.
Yeah,
which was very interesting. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. I mean, it kind of sounds like he was like a joy for everybody on set. Did you guys, in terms of cast and crew, did you guys have like an MVP of sorts on set, like somebody who was like above and beyond or kept everyone going?
Everybody was MVP.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't pick amongst my children. No, I mean, it's just, I collectively told the cast on numerous occasions that especially after a long hard day, I got the cast together and I would tell them, you guys are my secret weapon, so thank you guys for everything you're doing, because I would throw them curveballs all the time, being like, yo, we didn't rehearse this scene, but we have minutes until the sun is up, and we were doing an all night shoot, and in about 2 minutes it's going to be bright and the day's dead. We have to get this scene. We're not coming back to this scene. And they're just like, let's just shoot it. And I'm like, do you want to talk about it? And they're like, nope. And they like ran 2 takes back to back, just reset, keep the cameras going, go, boom, boom, boom. And we just kind of, there were times where there were scenes like that where it's like, these are the general beats, go, and just do this. Okay, now look over here. Okay, now do this. Okay, now do that. They were just so freaking quick, and never stumbled, never questioned, and just brought such sincerity and intensity. And it was incredible. Like I never seen such hustle. Because it's not an easy movie, especially like the keeping that sort of intensity level up all the time if they're freaking out, crying or screaming or having these very heavy scenes and stuff. And it's like we didn't properly like discuss this. Like it was just, we sort of talked about it, but it's like, we're here now, we have to shoot it, we have to go, we're not getting another take, go, don't suck. And they were like incredible. I was blown away. If there was any time, if like every second of the day was used, if there was any time, I would be like, do you have one more in you? Can you give me one more? If so, great. If you're happy with it, let's move on, because it was amazing. And oftentimes they would, but there were the times where, like I've said, it's like, well, we have one take on this actor, or we have one take in this moment. We just have to fly like the wind and just get everything. And it was, and that's, God, I've heard so many stories similar like that on even bigger studio movies where they still run out of time. And it's just the nature of it, the nature of the beast, no matter what budget you might have. So I was just very lucky that we had a cast and crew, for that matter, to move as quickly and efficiently as they did, given these like crazy hurdles and these crazy trials and challenges.
Yeah.
So I think they just rose above and beyond, and I owe them big time. So I love them all dearly.
Wonderful. I'm glad you also mentioned the aspect of, that's it, how difficult it can be to keep intensity levels and reshoot scenes and have multiple takes of things and stuff like that. And that's always something that I feel that actors in the horror genre never get enough credit for, is how difficult these roles very often are, because you're playing scared or hurt or something of that sort for days and days and days at a time. And it must be incredibly taxing for people. And I don't feel that there's ever enough credit given to people for that.
No, and it's like to be perpetually in a state of panic or stress and stuff. You're crying a lot, or you're shouting or screaming a lot. And then you're dealing with like the elements. You're dealing with the rain and cold late nights and stuff. So everybody's getting sick. The actors are getting sick. The crew's getting sick. And there was the whole scene where spoiler. There's a scene where Ashley is suspended on a log, and it's like raining and stuff. And Alex was completely sick. Like, she was just like, I need to go home. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wrap you out. We decided we're gonna wrap you out fast. We're gonna shoot all your stuff immediately. Hang in there. Get her some hot tea, because her voice was gone. It was just completely gone. And so she's trying to speak. So it's just this sort of raspy, exasperated thing. Just nothing's coming out. And I'm like, oh boy. So we looped her dialogue later, which was great. But the poor thing, she was just miserable. And so I thanked her up and down, got her some flowers, but I'm like, oh my gosh, like, again, I owe you. That was tough. I know, I'm sorry, but she did it. She was a rock star, and I mean, they all were. So it's one of those many cases of that kind of thing, of just being in this perpetual state of tension or strain or whatever. Marshall, who plays Scott, he blew out his voice as well. And even when I don't know if I told you this, when we were doing ADR, Richard came in, and so we were looping all his like screams and shouts and things like that. And he's like, oh God. So he's like drinking tea, and I'm like, sorry, man. I'm like, you don't have to like go that crazy and hard. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to lose my voice. I'm working tomorrow. And I'm like, oh God, I'm so sorry, man. You're like doing all this screaming and shouting and straining your voice, and then tomorrow he's probably going to be all hoarse. So it's a tough business for sure. But if you have the if you have the stones to do this kind of thing, it's very rewarding. It's just doing it in the moment, maybe not as much. Watching it is amazing. Doing it in the moment probably sucks for many. But I'm behind the monitor going, this looks incredible. But I feel bad for them in the rain and being hung up by wires and covered in blood or whatever it might be. So it was constantly, challenging for everyone.
Yeah,
so I at least got wet too, and I shared the misery, and we all were rained on, and I hopped in the water tank with Marshall.
It's like an adventure, it feels like an adventure together. We bonded.
It's a bonding experience. Yeah.
It feels like camp sometimes, and that was like kind of a that's that's kind of the fun of it sometimes. It's like, you know,
It's camp, except
You
now I
remember
can
that
get like
hard
a
day?
sore back because I don't want to sleep on the ground or anything on like a terrible sleeping bag, and it's wet and I'm uncomfortable because I'm not 7, and you know, I just can't handle these things anymore.
Yeah, doing this in your 30s and 40s and stuff, people are just like, you have, crew drinking coffee, and it's like, ugh. But every now and then we do a cool stunt, we do a cool kill, or somebody does this amazing emotional performance, and everybody is just in awe. So there were several times where we got applause and stuff. We set the tent on fire, and the awesome special effects team just freaking torched this thing, scaring the crap out of me. And the other thing with like doing all the stunts and stuff, I was behind monitor, but whenever the stunt team heard me go, oh fuck me, or I would curse because I'm reacting to what just happened, and it looked like it hurt. I'm like, oh my god, are they okay? And they're like, yeah, they're totally fine. I'm like, do you want to go again? I'm like, could they? I mean, that'd be great. But, oh my god, please be careful. But it was incredible. Throwing people into trees, blowing up vehicles. It was amazing. It's such an amazing experience.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I don't want to keep you guys all night because I'm sure you have tons of other things that you have to be doing. Do you mind if, in the spirit of horror podcasting, I just ask you a few fun little rapid fire questions, just outside of the realm of Pitfall itself? Okay, so
you want to go first, Wai?
Sure.
Okay. So I mean, very cliched, but off the top, why do you have a favorite horror film?
I do. Hereditary.
Nice. Okay. Good choice. And do you have, in sort of, I guess, contrast to that, do you have a favorite guilty pleasure film?
Guilty pleasure? What kind of pleasure? Guilty pleasure film.
Like one that might be silly, but
that you're like, I know this is objectively maybe not great, but I like it. Yeah.
The Notebook.
Nice. Okay. Solid choice.
I got one.
Okay.
If I'm being asked the same question.
Yeah, 100%.
It's Evil Dead 2 is
your favorite
horror film.
That's a good one too.
Excellent choice. Yeah.
But guilty pleasure, honestly, it is a movie I saw not long ago, and I'm embarrassed that it's taken me this long.
Titanic.
And every time you're gonna cringe when you hear it. But I remember telling a producer about it, and they go, "What?" It was it's Frankenhooker.
Oh God, yeah.
Or movies like Frankenhooker or Basket Case, or like Malignant. I mean, I will defend Malignant to the day I die.
It's so good. It's so good.
So many people hate those movies, and I'm like, these are so
they're great.
ridiculous and awesome and so fun. Especially Malignant's third act. Holy shit.
Oh, 100%. I'm a little sad that it got so much less credit than like Megan did, because it just got so much less hype, and people, I think, weren't ready for it when it came out. I think they thought it would be much more serious than it was, and it didn't play as well.
It was just released during the pandemic too, so
True.
I think had it been released with like a full audience seeing it, maybe there would have been something different. But I gotta hand it to them, man. He was given this like blank check to make whatever movie, and James Wan was like, screw it, I'm gonna make the weirdest, craziest movie ever, and Warner Brothers has to pay for it.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, how did you? Because I watching that movie, I was like, they're not actually doing this, are they? And I'm like, oh my god, they are. It blew my mind, and I'm like, what the hell is happening in this movie? I don't know if you've seen it, Wai.
No, I have not. You sent it to me. I have not seen those movies.
Malignant.
It's a
James
great
Wan,
one.
who did like Saw, Conjuring, and Insidious.
Conjuring and Insidious.
The one that just came out like a couple years, 2 years ago.
Malignant.
Yeah.
Oh, I have not seen. I've seen a trailer. I want to watch it.
Oh, dude, that third act, holy shit!
It's good, eh?
The rest of the movie, I gotta say, the first act, it's like, where's this movie going? What's going on? I'm not sure. I'm really digging this. It's kind of strange. I'm not really understanding what's going on. But the whole
twist behind it and the whole third act. Holy shit. I've never seen a third act save a movie before like that. That's incredible.
It's so
Holy
solid.
shit.
It's really good. It changes your entire opinion about what you're watching. You're suddenly like, wow, okay, no, I love this.
Yeah, I was watching it with my wife and mother-in-law. I'm like, hey guys, do you mind if we watch this movie? Because I'm really excited to watch it. I thought it was going to be a straighter horror film. And then it just became this crazy other thing. And I'm like, whoa, this is great. I remember like laughing my butt off and I'm being on the edge of my seat watching this. And I'm like in disbelief, like, oh my God, this is so incredible. And my mother-in-law goes, oh, James, you're not actually enjoying this, are you? And I'm like, hell yeah, dude, this is fucking great. Are you kidding me? Are we watching the same movie? This is incredible. Holy shit. So yeah, James Wan, if you're listening, oh my God.
We love you. What a surprise to hear from anyone.
He has a lot of great horror movies. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big Insidious fan.
Insidious, Saw.
Saw, my God. The
Even
first
Dead Silence. Yeah.
Oh, Dead Silence is a great one. Yeah.
Dead Silence is underrated. I even liked his action thriller movie, Death Sentence was really fun too. He's a solid ass director.
Yeah.
Very much.
Even other like movies, like not horror related, like Aquaman, you know, like he made Aquaman a man, not a boy. So,
yeah. It was incredible. It was incredible.
Absolutely. I think my one just quick last question, sort of in that same vein for fun. This is for both of you as well. If you had an unlimited budget and you could remake any film ever as a horror film, what would you pick?
I have a good answer for this.
Any horror film. I don't know. I want to make so many different types of horror films. There's no one that I really want to read. I want to make all of them.
You know what?
James, go for it.
I really liked this character, and I would really like to see the series be brought back. But if like a studio got behind it, or some like independent studio got behind it and threw a bunch of money at like a new Wishmaster or something like that, I think that would be really, really awesome.
Oh, that would be interesting to see.
And because you said remake, right?
Oh no! If you could remake, but it doesn't even have to be a horror film currently. Like any film of any genre. If there was one that you'd want to remake as horror, essentially.
I guess. Oh, do you have an answer, James?
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay. I thought of one really quick. So you know, have you watched Train to Busan?
Yep. Absolutely. I love Train to Busan.
If I were to remake one film or like whatever, I think the second one was terrible. Like it lost a lot of those elements from the first one. The first one was amazing. Yeah. But the second one just lost. It's just like, oh, I wish they could have done this and added that in. And the second one is just too flat, and you know, it's a higher budget and value, but it could have been a lot better. Just building off the momentum from the first one. The second one just felt so much like it's just, you know, not as well. So if I would have remade it, I'll probably remake that second one.
Well, so if we're talking remakes, I'd probably say like or like just sort of re-envisioning or rebooting like Wishmaster. However, I do have a great pitch for an Evil Dead movie, and it's like my life's dream to work for Sam Raimi. He's a big influence, and you know, I'm very jealous of the new guys that were picked.
Yeah,
Evil Dead movie.
Evil Dead Burn that's coming.
The guy that did Last Stop in Yuma County, which our own Alex Esso was in. He was tapped to do the new another Evil Dead movie, and then there's the other fellow that did Infested, I think they just wrapped Evil Dead Burn. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm so incredibly jealous. So I hope those movies do well, so they do more, so I can do another one, because I would just freaking lose my mind if I worked with Sam Raimi, A, but if I got to do an Evil Dead movie, B.
He needs
Because
to call you.
it's
Yep.
such an incredible dream of mine to do that kind of thing. But like I want to bring some of the humor back that maybe some of the newer ones didn't have as much of.
Yeah.
The newer ones I thought were great. It's just I'm like, oh man, we can go even crazier if they would allow it. But I get that they're trying to appeal to more mainstream audiences and things like that. But I don't want to give my premise away. But I have a fun take that would probably at the very least make Sam Raimi laugh. So I don't know. We'll see if it ever happens.
Yeah.
So
They will, buddy.
He needs to call you. That's it.
Knock on wood, fingers crossed. I just need to get an agent and have that agent work on getting me a meeting with Sam Raimi. Get me Sam Raimi now.
Okay, awesome. Thank you both so much for hopping on. I really appreciate it. This was really fun. Thank you for being our first official interview. This was a blast. And congratulations again on Pitfall's premiere. Are you guys, is it heading somewhere else now in terms of like festival fun stuff, or?
Yeah, so the film is gonna have a screening in New Orleans end of the month.
Okay, great.
It's another horror festival affiliated with Screamfest.
Fantastic.
But in New Orleans. So the audience in New Orleans and Louisiana will be able to watch it.
Fantastic. Okay, great. Well, listen, thank you again so much. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. And congratulations and good luck with everything.